G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game of Age of Empires 4. Today, we're on 4 lakes. Take a look at this. It's been a while since we've seen a map this beautiful. And of course, there has been many a controversy in the past over this map. Will we see something so controversial today? I doubt it because we are casting one of EGC TV's Summer Masters? Winter Masters. I can never remember because it's like, I'm in summer, so in my head I'm like, it's got to be summer. Anyway, we got 2 of the world's best players, as you'll be familiar with. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get down and take a look and see exactly what we've got here. Spawning in on the south side of the map, in the color yellow, playing as the Order of the Dragon, representing Team Fox, a little bit of a fox himself. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Anatan. And in the north of the map, in the color red, playing for Team Elephant as the Japanese, it's Louis MT. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a casted game. Welcome to 4 Lakes. A pleasure to have your company here today as we prepare to witness what may be the greatest game you have ever seen. Now, we never know that we're going to be witnessing the greatest game that we've ever seen until we actually have casted it. But, you know, maybe I should just be starting every video with, it could be the greatest game that we've ever seen. And we just never know. It could be a 12-minute game with Vortex. It could still be good, though. Maybe not the greatest. Anyway, I'm looking forward to it because we've got the Japanese. We don't really get much of the Japanese these days. I'm kind of hoping in the next patch that drops that the Japanese get a little bit of love. At the moment, their fishing boats... Hold on. Where are my shadows? Is it just me? Or do I have no shadows? Maybe the angle of the water... Oh, no, I can see a little bit of shadow in there. I was looking at that and I'm like, did I turn my graphics down to 0? There's no shadows right there. But there are shadows. There are shadows. It's funny how the graphics really... there they are. I told you I was missing my shadows, dude. There must have been a cloud or something. There must have been a cloud. Hey, come on. You got to give it to Drongo. He knew what he was talking about when he said there was no shadow. Did you see that? There was genuinely no shadow. I thought I was losing my mind. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. We're going to start off early with our drink of the day. 2 minutes in. Most of you guys should still be here. We have got one that we've not had on the show before, the drink of the day. This one is a little bit more controversial. Now, I don't know if it's like this in the States. It's like this in Australia because we've got protected terms. So protected terms are like things that have to be. Like, you can't just be like, hey, we're selling eggs, and then they're not actually eggs. Like, it's broccoli. So we have laws. But one of the protected terms is juice. So if you are selling juice, that juice actually has to be like made out of real oranges, like real fruit they got to use for it. And if it's not made out of real stuff, they call it drink. Okay, so I'm drinking some drink today, or at least that's what it says, refreshing fruit drink. It's actually flavored. We've got apple and guava. That's our flavor today. And it's interesting. You can always tell the difference between a juice and a drink. A juice has just got so much more of a, I don't even know how to describe it. It's a bit more of a thicker drink, really. A bit more of an, it tastes like the real thing, which you'd suspect, considering it's from the real thing. Have a look at the age up time that we've got here for Anatan, by the way. Opens up with a triple fishing boat start, and yet still somehow manages to click up with the Arkan Chapel, 8 vills on it. He's going to be up at like, what, 4, yeah, probably before 4 minutes here. Absolutely wild. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, how does Anatan even get the resources to age up that quickly? That is absolutely insane. He's obviously got his build order worked out perfectly. You know, for me, whenever I was doing water play, I'd be like, okay, we're just going to throw everybody on wood and we'll just keep making fishing boats as we go. But Anatan's sort of thought it all out and said, we're only just going to make 3 fishing boats. That'll be it. And the age up comes through, 3 minutes and 51 on a water map. Absolutely ludicrous timing there for him. We'll check in on the other side, see how Louis MT's doing, because Louis not even close to aging yet. Still probably about 10 to 15 away from it. He has opened with a second dock towards the north side. Always going to be very cautious about going into too many docks, though, because one of the things that can happen is your enemy can will get a little bit excited and potentially attempt to deny you space. Now, the Coca Township does come down here for Louis MT. Also looks to put the outpost down on the gold. Keep in mind, up against the Holy Roman Empire, also known as the Order of the Dragon's good friend. Now, keep in mind, when we're playing as the Order of the Dragon, aggression is the name of the game, and the archery range is already starting to come out. This is going to be in response to the Coca Township, together with just looking to pressure this gold. Now, he does actually have a back gold, so if you can put an outpost down here, or even just a wall across this front side, you should be pretty decent in covering this. The one thing to note, though, is there is pressure early on, And we see a Rax coming in as well. Have a look at this. So it's interesting the style that Anatan's playing here. So normally, when it comes to this map, the most common thing that you see is both players will take their own respective sides, and then they'll look to challenge the other side, or they'll take one quadrant, and then they'll look to start challenging the other quadrants. Here, we're just seeing a really smart maneuver by Anatan, who basically just says, I'm going to take advantage of 3 fishing boats, and that's it. And then I'm just going to push on land hard. So it's going to be Spear together with Archers coming out for him. We'll check in with Louis MT as he ages up at 5 minutes and 20. You can see the difference in age ups are really going to be changing up the game here for these two players. And it means that from the very beginning, Anatan is going to be on the defensive. But have a look at that vill count already. At the top of your screen, 33 villagers for Louis MT, 22 for Anatan. Now, of course, I'm going to give you the usual talk that I give you about, oh, they're Order of the Dragon vills, and they're better, and they're faster, and they're harder, and they're stronger. But, I mean, that's a pretty big number. That is a pretty big difference that we are seeing. So, let's keep an eye out on exactly what the play here is. Vills are going to be forced back in. Forge is pretty low on health, and Spear now looking to unite with the Archer on the south side of the base, beginning to make his way around the edge, heading down potentially towards the docks. Now, don't be surprised if we see Louis look to get a junk or a war junk out to defend himself here. Meanwhile, oh, never mind. No war junk needed, ladies and gentlemen. Double archery range coming through for Louis. So he's gone into the Shinobi as well as the Ashigaru Yumi. Yumi Ashigaru, don't worry. We got it. Meanwhile, down on the south side, have a look at this. Shinobi, just doing work. And keep in mind, this is Anatan's only pond that he's got. Now, when it comes to questions, in my mind, I'm thinking a little bit about Castle Age. I want to know, what's the plan, Anatan? Because Castle Age is important for you. You're playing as the Order of the Dragon. You need to pick up relics and have a look at the positioning on them. We'll check in with them a little bit later, but already you can see that we've got an incredible relic spawn on this map. It is definitely a favorable relic spawn, you would have to say, but looks like a Vil might go down here. He's not paying attention. Louis MT losing the first one of the game. Down towards that south side. It looks like that dock is probably, almost certainly going to be going down. Sabotage comes up in, what, another 40? Another 14 seconds. Dock here for Anatan. He's really looking to put the pressure on him. We don't see any vessels coming out just yet for Louis MT that have got that military capacity, military capability. Woodline's going to be forced back. He's got a couple of little options towards the back here where he could look to come out. Keep in mind, he does actually have that second dock positioned up towards the north side. So even if the food economy does run out on this south position, we've lost the shadows again. We've lost the, they look so weird without the shadows, dude. It's got to be, yeah, you can see that there's a cloud that's going over. So there will be a cloud, and look, I know there's fighting going on. I don't care. I want to know about the shadows. You can see these boats will slowly get their shadows back, I think, as the cloud comes. I don't even see where the cloud is, man. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm gonna keep it 100 right now. All right, we'll focus on the game. Focus on the game, Drongo. Less on the graphics and more on the game. All right, well, Louis MT continues to hold for the moment. The Archer number is pushing. He's on 12 at the moment, 14 now. And that number continues to rise. He's adding in 2 extra ones. We'll ride on board with Anatan and see how he's doing on the south side, because he has lost his dock. There's no real prospect of him getting that back up. He could have sent an archer or 2 down there to deal with it, and he just didn't do it. And I'm curious as to why that is, because I think he very easily could have kept these bad boys working their magic, but unfortunately, it's not going to be the case. More units rushing around towards this top side. He's going to look to try and hit this wood line once again. A little bit of a farmhouse drop down, cancels it, runs the Vils out, says, we're getting caught once again. No textiles through just yet. Vil up towards that north side. The dock did go up, but we see the junk has arrived from Louis MT. A little bit too late there. And now more and more of the Ashigaru Yumi Ashigaru making their way up towards this top side. He'll be able to clean this up completely, and you can see he's doing the right thing. You just focus down the archers in this situation, and then you'll look to focus and slowly kite down the men-at-arms. They do a lot less damage than these archers, so much more important to take them out. And also got a lot less armor than the gilded men-at-arms. So far, Anatan not really looking to commit to Castle Age. He's going to throw down a dock on the north side, and if anything, it feels like his attack has been dealt with. I think that's probably the best. Oh, have a look here. What do we got here? We got a second dock coming down over on this east quadrant, this east pond. Meanwhile, Scout as well as the Shinobi going to be heading back towards that north side. We'll ride on board here with Anatan and see how he's doing. as he continues expanding. A lot of units just moving around the map now. He's looking to really keep himself mobile, keep himself out there. Survival technique's going to be coming through, so he's looking to gather up a little bit of deer that's out here and looking to try and get back on the pond. And we do exactly see what I was thinking. In my head, I was thinking I'd really love to see him just try and sneak a dock in. And that's exactly what he does. So very, very smart move from him. Yumi Ashigaru now in the center of the map, looking to push out here. He's going to run down the reinforcement line. More and more units slowly trickling in. He's got plenty of Yumi Ashigaru. Look at Louis MT. He knows no limits when it comes to these Yumi Ashigaru. Just spamming them constantly. Still one Gilded Archer up with 5 health left on it. But he is going absolutely ham here. So give me a sec. I'm going to take a quick drink here, fellas, because it's quite hot here today in Australia. I could take a much bigger drink than that. I reckon I probably could have polished that off. But we're going to leave it. We'll leave it for a little bit later. We're only 10 minutes through this game, almost 11 minutes through this game. And it's important that we pace ourselves, both as a caster and as a drinker. And look, I'm not a professional drinker. I was going to say I leave that to my dad. He's not alcoholic. He's not alcoholic, I promise you. But if he was, that would be an amazing joke. If my dad was an alcoholic, that was a good one. Would a professional drinker even be an alcoholic? I feel like you got to be an amateur drinker if you're an alcoholic. A professional drinker would know his limits. That's the pro drinker, right? Either way. Dad's not pro or amateur at drinking. I mean, I will say now, for beverages other than alcohol, he's a good drinker. He drinks a lot of water, that guy. Let's check in with it. Sorry, we're slowly building up the cursed counter though. I'm feeling that we're at about a 40%, maybe a 50% at the moment on the cursed counter. So we are making our way towards it. Anatan now gonna start working his magic over on this east side. We also see him sneaking a dock. Look at this sneaky little villager, the little villager that could sneaks the dock in the corner. And of course, Louis got absolutely no idea about this, hasn't even spotted out this positioning, but he'll undoubtedly see this villager walking back towards his base, unless he's just doing a bit of fishing. And indeed, he is doing a little bit of fishing. And now you can tell that Louis is getting a little bit upset. He said, okay, this Hulk is problematic. We need to deal with this, and we need to deal with this threat now. So he comes forward, takes out the dock with the villagers. There's a second dock. Louis doesn't know about the second dock. Louis doesn't know about the second dock. These docks are so sneaky. He's got no idea. And I guarantee you, he's still going to be wondering, where are these vessels coming from? He's going to check down here. He's not going to check over here. And the thing is, he saw the Vil. He saw the Vil put down this, this dock. I just don't think he ever saw the Vil back behind. Or if he did, he just maybe wasn't paying attention. Okay. Inside the stealth forest. Men-at-arms. I love the gilded men-at-arms, dude. It's impressive just how tanky they are and just how little Louis MT cares about them. Hit me all day, buddy. Hit me all day. I don't care. Look how fast the Yumi Ashigaru are. 1.12 against the 1.38. They just sprint away, but with so much health on them, it's very difficult to actually deal with them. They've got 4 ranged armor. Compare that to the 6 ranged attack of the Yumi Ashigaru. It's going to take you quite a lot of hits. It's going to take you 115 volleys from your archers. So that would mean with 115 volleys, you'd need 4 volleys to kill a single one. But so far, it's a bit of a struggle. He's working it down. Nice little micro coming through anytime that they're getting attacked. Look at the micro. Louis MT trying to show off right now. I tell you what, he's not trying to show off. He is showing off. That is for sure. I bet he's not even breaking a sweat right there. Beautiful splits coming through. I felt like I was watching a Cyril game right there. Actually, that doesn't make sense. Cyril's the guy with the banelings. So let's go with... I felt like I was watching a Terran game right there. I'm trying to think of like a good Terran player, but I can't because there's none. Oh, I'm sorry. I was a Zerg main as well. Back when I played StarCraft for like a couple of months before I had to go on deployment and never got to play it again. That was sad, man. I would have loved to have played StarCraft when it came out. That looked like a lot of fun back in the day. But look, I guess it's like all RTS. Back in the day, all RTS was great back then, wasn't it? There was a lot of good stuff. Let's check in on that north side and see how Louis is doing. More raids continue to come through. Over on that east. Look at this. So the second ship has come. There's a second shooter, my friend. There's a second shooter. And we don't know where he's come from because Louis thought he was fine. He was like, okay, we've cleaned it up. We're not in too much of a hassle. The dock is down. The dock is down. I repeat, the dock is down. Oh, I tell you what. Looked like there was going to be a little bit more than a dock going down right there. Speaking of which, look at this. We got units in both players' bases. Hold on. Is this a castle? This is a castle age. You see this many vills on gold, and that is a castle age, my friend. Louis could potentially snipe the relics. Now, have a look at this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 relics all in the middle of the map, which is basically anybody's game, realistically. There's no one gets a safe relic. You get a couple relics that are a little bit closer to you. You know, you've got this one relic that's on this side of the sacred site. That's about it. Other than that, though, and look at this, just constantly idle throughout this game for Louis. He's really struggled, and you can see the score difference now. Anatan has pulled ahead by an absolute massive margin, up 500 points. And normally you'd look at that and say, okay, 500 points, it's not a big deal. Mate, it's 500 points this early on in the game. Look at the difference. It's basically like he's got an extra 50% score on him. So it does add up. But we do get the age up coming through. Louis doing the right thing, putting it down immediately next to the town center. No risk of cancellation by sneaky, silly men-at-arms attacks. You can just, if any villagers getting low, you can just immediately put them through. And we see the stable coming down. So almost certainly this Yorishiro is going to be put inside this stable. And it does get spotted out from Anatan. Anatan sees it, but he'll see how many vills are on this and realize he can't really pressure this. There's not a lot that he can do. The vills are going to make their way back inside, so you'll see anytime a villager gets low, he'll just be able to move it inside, and there he goes. And now, oh, have we got a little bit of a movement here? Shinto Priest, he's been rallied down to this bottom. Oh, he's putting it to the bottom side so it doesn't get killed. Very, very smart. And now he'll push it up into the stable. Expect to see a lot of mounted samurai now for Louis. His water economy is in shambles, we'll say that much. Burgrave now going to be coming through on the other side. Fox, Anatan doing some very foxy things here. What is the Burgrave all about? You know, I could never really wrap my mind around the Burgrave from the perspective of the Order of the Dragon. For the Holy Roman Empire, it makes total sense, right? You just want to print a whole bunch, kill a whole bunch, perfect sense. But the Burgrave, it's a bit of a slow trickle. I just always felt like Regnitz made so much more sense. Even in this situation, I mean, even in this situation, how do you justify it? I don't even think you can, right? Like, if you look at the amount of military that he's got, to me, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to be going Regnitz here, just because I don't think you're going to get a lot of relics. You know that the enemy is going into the floating gate. They're going to have that Shinto Priest out early. You know the Yorishiro is going to come into the stable. You know that they're going to have very good control on the map with the mounted cav. Like, how do you possibly play into this with how things have gone? You don't have any military mass that is remaining. You have to just kind of play into the Burgrave, and it sucks, right? Because it sucks, but at the end of the day, that's the best you can do. Now, there are a couple relics towards the north here. We could look to see a monastery, maybe over towards this west side. It wouldn't be terrible. He's got the market up and a lot of village or a lot of barracks towards the front. Is he even going to play into relics here, or is he just going 100% all in? Because that could be that could definitely be a play, especially considering that his enemy is almost completely off the water. Now, he's still on water. He's got a decent position down here, just slowly bringing in the fish. He's actually started fishing on his enemy's pond as well. He's actually stolen away the pond from his opponent. And now he's also fishing in the north. He's fishing on all 4 ponds right now, and Louis got no idea. Is that why his score is so much higher? Is that how he's going to look to use the Burgrave? You put all the vills on gold and then just make a whole bunch of units? Is that the play? If that's the play, that makes perfect sense. But I think the big question is, how do you deal with the combo that is about to come out from Louis? Louis's got the mobility. The mounted samurai, an incredibly strong unit. I feel like in this situation, the best thing that you could do is just go into a whole bunch of gilded horsemen. Gilded horsemen are quite nice right now. So with the stable being dropped down here and veterancy coming through for the gilded horsemen, this makes a lot of sense. So I like this. This will put him in really good control. But the biggest struggle he's going to have is food. And when it comes to food, of course, we know that we know the truth. He's already out here. He's already on the map. Wrong ship, mate. You want a fishing ship. You don't want that one. Battering ram coming through for Louis. We've got another relic being picked up. It's a 2 versus 1 relic situation. Sprinkled in placement on the north. Prelate almost getting shot down. He's going to bring... Oh, look at this. Beautifully actually considered. I didn't even think about this one, but we can see that definitely, very clearly, Anatan did. We've got double sprinkled towards this top side. No fortification just yet, but these guys are going to be absolutely fine here, and they'll slowly work down. I suspect he's just going to look to try and focus down all of the Yumi Ashigaru. Now that horseman on the front getting focused down. It will go down. Vill's going to be brought to the party to take down the battering ram, and they're going to have to fall back in this situation. It's to the safety of the outpost. They definitely do. The spears are getting some good value in. That's the thing about these spears. They have a lot of damage, and they are very effective at chasing down these units. So we can see that he's just kind of spamming them out at the moment, even though they do get countered by the enemy Yumi Ashigaru. The spears are still very good. So I think Horseman Spear in this combo is going to be absolutely what you need. So let's see whether Anatan, it looks like he has indeed caught on to that. So Horseman Spear now going to be coming out for him. Very, very smart. The Bannerman Aura did get dropped over on that west side. That's the last remaining piece of that puzzle over there. And we're starting to see a bit of a build-up now for the Onimusha. Have a look at this. A unit that is a little bit controversial. Some people love it, some people hate it. For me, I'm probably more of like a don't like it that much. It's great when you've got that kiting ability, but when the horsemen come out and start diving, they die very quickly. They die really quickly. They died a spear, they died a horseman, so it's a very deadly combo. And you know, Louis, we've kind of seen him all day focused around this theme of just constantly kiting, constantly fighting. So I suspect he's going to look to try and keep that up. We'll check in now with the income per minutes, get a bit of an idea on where they're sitting. We've got 1,200, 2,400, 28, 2,800 for Anatan. On the side of Louis, we've got 600. Oh gosh, 1,000, 1,600, 1,700. Is that really the difference that we're talking right now? We're talking, oh, he's just done a big transition. That's why 21 Vils transitioning down. That's probably it. There's not a 1,200 resource difference between these two, I can assure you. Not when you're this close at the top of the screen. But to be fair though, Anatan has a pretty big economy of just his villages are going to be quite nice for him. All right, I'm going to take another swig of my drink here. We're at the 21-minute mark. I think I'm going to try and ration them one swig every 10 minutes, all right? So hopefully, I don't know how long this game's going to go, but hopefully I've got enough left. Don't go for 2 hours again, please. Oh, on the south side. Have a look at the horseman numbers. He doesn't have enough outposts here. He's going to have to go for a little bit of a run here. Have a look at this. He's been caught with his pants down. I still haven't had a drink. I'm still holding it in my hands. That's 2 Vils that go down. He's going to grab a third one. And Anatan on 69 Vils pushes that lead to an even nicer position. Very well played. All right, drink time. Give me a sec. That is a good drink. It's not a good juice, but it is a good drink. Nice little defense on this pond. He's taken every single pond, by the way. If we look from Louis' perspective right now, he is technically still on the North Pond. He has a single fishing boat. That's it. You don't need water to win, Louis MT says. I'm going to do it without it. Anatan literally has every single pond. He stole every pond. Well, maybe not stole. He didn't steal every pond. He stole these 2 ponds, but these ones were his fair and square. That's normally the gentleman's agreement. Horseman, north side. Once again, looking to come through. A lot of Vils have gone down. You can already see this game, 32 worker kills already for Anatan. He has just been trying to clean house. A lot of those are going to be fishing boats, so keep that in mind. Not as significant, not as important as your normal villager. A little bit less versatile. And now the sacred site number 1 is taken. Relic split in the end, 3-2. Not a bad little split. Burgrave's still down here. We can see that it is not really producing too much at all. It's always really hard to macro with the Burgrave because you want to stick it in the control group with everything else. And you just kind of end up, you know, if you're not careful, you'll just end up sharing your control groups with everybody else. But Gilded Lanch Connect actually going to be discounted a pretty decent amount. Only 130 gold for these. And if you compare it to a barracks where it's 200 gold, that's a good saving. And if that's happening every single time you can, if you could make a Gilded Lanch Neck every possible 20 seconds for the rest of the game, you'd be making a fair bit of money. Well, maybe not making, but saving a fair bit of money, that is for sure. Mounted Horseman, or rather mounted Samurai up against the Gilded Horseman. We're slowly getting names for everything else. What I mean by that is, like, it used to be Horseman, and now we've got a Gilded Horseman. And it used to be Knight. Now it's a Samurai that's mounted. What'll it be? Next up, it's instead of a Mangonel, they're going to call it a Manjanique. Oh, God. Can you believe these people? Sacred Site contested on the south. Where are they? The Lanch Connect, they are in there. They are in there. These are the things you got to be so careful of. If you're not paying attention, they will absolutely destroy your front line, and they do get picked off. Unfortunately, we're not having yellow, or rather red Lanch Connect today. It is going to be the yellow, so they got that nice theme going, but big heals coming in on that backside from the Shinto Priest, and he's able to shut down the majority of this army for the moment. Louis MT holding on once again. He's been on the defensive what feels like almost all of this game here. Only a couple of instances as he actually left the base and gone on the prowl. We did see him up over the wards on this gold vein a little bit earlier. Down in the south, running around the enemy base with his Ashigaru Yumi, or Yumi Ashigaru. But now he remains on the defense. And the final battering ram about to be taken down. He's done a good job at dealing with the enemy army. He's in a good spot. I think he's in a good spot. After that little position right there, I think you can drop down a second TC here. I'd be absolutely fine with the second TC here. The alternative, I don't think he can really go Imp here. I feel like Imp is a little bit too far away for him to go to it here. But second TC makes a lot of sense in this situation. He doesn't actually have any vills on stone right now, so it's not like he's just going to be able to instantly drop it down after taking the amazing fight. Battering ram cleaning up that dock towards the north. Not going to be able to shut that one down. That at least shuts down 5 fishing boats, so not too bad. Actually, it's quite a bit more than 5 fishing boats. It's 9 fishing boats, but look at Anatan. Look how quick the reaction is. Just immediately. Has he got a... I bet he's got a Vil rally to the edge of the map. Look at this. Look at this. You know what's going to happen before it even happens. That's how good this guy is. And this is one of the things that I often say. Whenever you're casting good players, it's so good being able to cast them. Because when you say something, and I don't want to like be braggadocious or anything like that, but it's one of those things where it's like, if you know what the correct play is and players don't do it, kind of makes you look like an idiot. But if you know what the correct play is, and then the players do it, then it makes you look like you know what you're talking about. And that's good, right? We want credibility. Credibility is a good thing. It makes us look like the 5-star rating that we've got is actually 5 stars and not just paid for by I was gonna say something. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna walk away. That it wasn't just paid. All right, let's check in with Louis and see how he's doing. Still no sign of a second TC just yet, but the man is cooking. I will suspect he's managed to build up quite a bit of a mass towards the north. On water, he's been completely shut down on this waterfront. We can see he's got absolute darkness over here. I don't know where that battering ram went. Maybe he looked to join the front. Jeez Louise, I tell you what, it's so hot here today. So in Australia, it got up to about 37 today, which, you know, for you folks in the States, I think that's about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's pretty hot. And my house isn't built to the best of standards when it comes to that sort of thing. So we've had the AC cranked all day. There's the battering ram. There you are, buddy. Look at this. He's rolling down to here. He knows there's something down here. Horseman coming to try and clear it up. You can see that he's absolutely working to keep this bad boy alive. Horseman do a good job, and he's going to bait him away. Look at Anatan. Incredibly well played here. The dock actually isn't completed yet, but we do have that villager that's en route, or rallied all the way to the side here. Look at this. Look at this rally point. You cannot get better than that. And we can actually see the outpost is going to spot this villager, but I don't think he's got 100% cover. Oh my God. Look at these guys, dude. Look how good they are. They just know, man. They're so good. It's actually wild watching players at this level and how damn good they are. Oh my. I'm chuffed. I'm actually chuffed in this moment. I'm feeling a little bit giddy. Like, wow. We're witnessing something great right now. When you see that kind of stuff happening, these guys are really on another level. We didn't go over the relic count. It's 3-2. Both players with a sacred site. They've kind of called, this is my side of the map. That's your side of the map. And Louis MT is definitely beginning to show more and more of a desire to expand towards that southern area. We can see he's got quite a lot of units down here. He's definitely looking to protect the position over on the east. Doesn't want anything else out over here. Meanwhile, he has actually cleaned up the dock in the north of the map. I didn't actually think he was going to get this, but it turns out that he did. And now the cavalry numbers continue to build. So at the moment, he's got 32 Onamusha, 32 Onabagasha. So a lot of women that are being represented right now in this Japanese army. And then 17 horsemen. So a bit of an interesting combo here for him. Onabagasha is always a fun one to try and play around. But I think for the Order of the Dragon, you've definitely got an answer to it, being the Gilded Lance Connector. And I think the real key is that you want to have enough that they can't really get picked off by the ranged units, but you also don't want to have so many that your enemy just avoids the fight. You want them to take the fight, but you want them to lose the fight. And if you've got too many, they'll just be like, no, I'm not taking that fight. I'm just going to fall back. No way. Are we really seeing an Elsbach Palace? What is going on this game? Anatan says, I don't even need to go for Swabia. We're just putting down an Elsbach. Look at the position on this Elsbach. This is the weirdest position I've seen on an Elsbach in a long time. It almost feels like we're playing an FFA game where we've got kings or monarchs. Tell me what this is designed to do. I guess it's just designed to prevent the enemy from... Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good. That's a huge Japanese army, isn't it? I'm just looking at that. I'm like, hold on a minute. This is a massive army. Like, this is crazy just how big this is. So, yeah, this is a curious spot that he finds himself in. So Anatan's going to need to look for elite upgrades straight away. Probably going to be looking, I would suspect, into elite archers. So we see elite archers and elite crossbowmen. So he's going into the ranged combo, and we've seen this work before very effectively. So basically, the Order of the Dragon can pretty much just make 100% ranged units and just mix in a couple of spears here and there, and it's very, very difficult to deal with. He is also going to be going into elite spears, but underneath the town center, and you can see Louis MT is going to try and commit. No cannon emplacement just yet. Vils are going to be evacuated out. The L's back, firing down on the enemy Japanese army, repelling it for the moment. No relics in hand. In fact, those relics are both going to get picked up. Take a look at this. Louis MT managing to secure the first of the 2 relics that were taken, or at least were taken out from those outposts towards the top side. Elite upgrades about to come through. Not a huge army here for Anatan. I mean, I say it's not a huge army. It's a huge amount of population still, though. Both sacred sites now going to be held for him on the Japanese. Louis MT going to try and kite back here. A lot of speed on these units. Look how quickly they're going. 1.79 movement speed. So we get that message to neutralize a sacred site more than 17 seconds before, after it was initially captured. And now towards this topside Shinto Shrine going to be coming down. 5th relic going to get picked up. All your relics belong to me, says Louis MT. So, you know, I don't need the water. You can have the water, but I'll take the relics. What do you think? That's a good deal? Well, that's the deal that Louis MT took today. I don't know if I really like that deal, but we'll see. Perhaps we'll learn the art of the deal from him. Nice little range combo starting to come out here. You can see the crossbow archer combo for the Order of the Dragon. Now, what makes this combo so deadly is the Gilded Dragon and the fact that they've got that extra range. 6 tiles of range can be a lot of difference. On top of that, the elite Gilded Archer also attacks very fast, so it's got quite a high DPS compared to normal archers. That's what really sets these 2 units apart. Castle of the Crow. Ain't no way. Where is this? I don't even know where it's going down. Where is it going down? Oh, it's going down on the sacred site right here. Wololo, Wololo, Wololo in the north. Castle of the Crow gets completed on the sacred site. I don't know where that traitor is spawned, but it probably is quite close by. Triple relic here. Could get threatened. He's got elite upgrades on the way, but he's just going to try and take the fight now. He thinks he's got the number advantage, and he definitely does. But there are plenty of units in here, and these are all Order of the Dragon units. How many Lance Connect are we looking at? It looks like about 2 in here. The first of the hand cannoneers coming in, doing a lot of work right there. Took out did some decent damage on that farmhouse, fellas. But now more and more units make their way to the front on the defense for Louis MT, and you can see just how well he is holding up in this game. The Honor Bagasha, together with the Onimusha on the back, make an absolutely brilliant combo here to defend the Order of the Dragon attack. So Sacred Site 1 has been held. Sacred Site 2 is in the process of being secured. It's going to take some time for us to fully secure this bad boy up, but there are many a unit making their way towards it. More upgrades on the way as well. We're starting to see Bunrei coming through for our Japanese floating gate. We've also got Yaki Air, which is very... Well, I'm not going to Yaki Yum, but that is a lot of melee. A lot of melee damage. +3 ranged armor also coming through. Meanwhile, on the side of Anatan, we're seeing elite horsemen getting sent in. I was throwing up as to whether he was actually planning on neutralizing the sacred site, but for the moment, it looks like he's just going to have to fall back. A lot of reinforcements coming through. Anatan, very cautious of where his opponent is at. Let's do a quick eco check. Can I get an eco check at minute 34? Minute 34 eco check, please. We've got 1900. We'll call it 2000, 2600, 1500. Call it 4100, 4300. For Anatan, a decent number right there. And for Louis MT, we've got 2,000, 2,400, 3,600, 3,700. So, once again, Anatan with a slight advantage. Now, I will just say here, there could be a skip in the recording, or in the video that you're watching at some point here, because I just heard a big lightning strike outside my house. So, it is quite hot. We've got thunderstorms coming in as well. And I tell you what, how amazing are thunderstorms, dude? If you had to rate things in life, as what the best things in life are, there would be... Now, we're being family friendly with this. Number 1 would be sleep. Name something better than sleep. Number 2 would be coffee, and number 3 would be thunderstorms. That's a matter of fact. I don't think there's no ambiguity right there. That is 100% certain. But take a look at this. The Culverin just working its magic, trying to get into position. Does take off the shot. In the end, he's slowly working down the back line. The Onimusha not really getting a lot of value in. So many yellow bodies just hitting the floor towards that top side, but still the front line is holding. It's hard to tell the difference between the real-life bodies and the zombies because they are... What did you see that hand cannon here? It looked like it was dancing. Look at it. Every time he gets hit, he's like, ugh, ugh. He actually has an animation for when he gets hit, and he doesn't like it. He definitely does not like being hit by those Honor Bagasha, that is for sure. I like this mining camp. Look, I'm a big fan of this mining camp. This is a mining camp that, me personally, I would definitely look for a camp like this. Now, I'm curious exactly what drives a mining camp. What drives an individual to make a mining camp like this? Is this almost a bit of a... Is this a potential warding sign? Is that what this is? Is this sort of like, if there are golds in this part, then they be mine? I think that's what it could be. We do see him coming forward for this mining camp now. It's going to be quite long range on the gold vein, but look, I think this is one of those things where it's a safe option, right? And I want to stress, right? We've been seeing high quality stuff from these players all game today. This right here is probably where that stops. Sorry. I always like to, you know, it's the little things. How many times when you guys first started playing Age of Empires 4 did you put a mining camp down where you actually meant to put a lumber camp down? Dude, I think I probably did that about 12 times before I got used to it. Because if I remember correctly, in Age of Empires 2, not that I ever really played that game. I played it a little bit. But I think they've got it switched around the other way. All right, towards the top side. We got ourselves a little bit of keeping up with the Kardashians here. Cannon emplacements, not quite through. But with the Castle of the Crow, you don't really need it. You do all the work yourself. The rockets coming in. Now, we actually have, in 56 seconds, the caravan coming in. As far as I'm aware, it should just spawn at this trade post. Excuse me. It should just spawn at this trade post, but it's not going to spawn much. I remember when the Japanese initially came out, I was like, I'm going to test everything. And I tested that, and I remember thinking it was about a screen that you needed to actually get max value out of it. So I think probably what's happened here is Louis just been like, I don't care about the amount of resources that it brings in Drongo. I'm just putting a keep on a sacred site. Like, that's it. That's all I want it for, dude. Like, stop trying to overanalyze these things. All I want is like big shooty building on the sacred site. That's it. Sacred site is the win condition. Give me that. Let's have a look. We got 14 seconds. I'm impressed. I just managed to talk about that for 40 seconds. That's good. That's good. I kept you guys busy for 40 seconds while we waited for that timer to tick down, because it doesn't have long. Another 4 seconds to go, and I reckon we're going to spot it in 2, 1. There it is. How much is he carrying? It's actually not that bad, but you got to remember it's like a 4-minute cooldown or something. Yeah, 5-minute cooldown. So when you look at these numbers, wow, so big, huge numbers. We're on the wrong perspective. Probably doesn't work out to be that much. It probably works out to be like 3 villages or something like that. And if you max it out, I think you can get it to being worth about 10 vils. And it does give you infinite stone, which is quite nice. A little bit of a quick wall on a Bagasha. Trying their best to take down the Horsemen. Horsemen going to get trapped in here if they're not careful. Not enough units or not enough vils here to actually build this wall. He's going to try and quick wall him in. He gets it. Oh my god, he gets it at point blank. Have a look at that. On a Bagasha going to clean that one up. Very well dealt with. Impressive. Gosh, I was about to call it the other way, and then all of a sudden he got the wall up. Really well done. Cleans it up and says that raid has been dealt with, my friends. So we hold on for a little bit longer. Castle of the Crow under pressure. Oh, you can actually select the neutral trading post to periodically do it. The problem is your enemy controls the other one. And you've built your Castle of the Crow quite literally on the only other trading post on the map. So it's not particularly easy. Elite Horseman numbers starting to rise for both of these players. We see 10 out for Louis, 8 out for Anatan. He's adding more in as well. A little bit of raids towards these top sides. And more units continue to make their way into the middle. We start to see the best voiced unit in the game. The hand cannon, Ashigaru. You can hear him in my right ear. I could hear him talking. It wasn't him. It was his cousin. But I tell you what, it's an awe-inspiring voice. That's actually my alarm. Whenever it goes off, it makes that sound. And let me tell you right now, I wake up very intentionally. Hand Cannoneers firing off. Samurai on the front line as well. He's got the elite Samurai. Look at the amount of damage they've got. Keep in mind, they also get the bonus damage as well against all infantry. Incredibly difficult to deal with. You can't really just set and forget. You gotta continue kiting, otherwise you'll just die to them. They are very powerful units. One of the most powerful units in the late game as well. I'm kind of surprised that they haven't been touched. I felt like these would have been nerfed multiple times at this stage. I mean, they have, but, you know, nerfed more. They're kind of good. They're kind of scary. It's that one unit that you can just kind of spam non-stop and laugh at your enemy as they try and defend it. But have a look at this. Louis MT beginning to push his way in towards the base of Anatan. More and more units being thrown into this grinder. How are we doing on water? We're doing absolutely fine. It looks like we've actually recovered water. And we're just minding our own business. I thought we were doing a bit of... Look at this. Okay, this is inefficient. This is part of the reason, okay? For anybody wondering, this is why typically you don't go for like these super big water booms, because these are really inefficient fishing boats right now because they're so far away from the dock. It's just better to have a villager at this point in the game. If you could just have a villager close to the town center gathering up, it just works out much better. Now, you can mitigate that if you're able to pick up the upgrades, but we can see here he's still 0 for 2. And with an economy that's got this many fishing boats on it, you'd hope to see a little bit more than that. Towards the south side, Louis MT continues to put on the pressure, but have a look at this. Towards the top, Castle of the Crow getting that boiling oil through. Culverin slowly working it down. And speaking of slowly working it down, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another drink with Drongo. Drongo's drinks. the Drongo drink of the day. It is refreshing fruit drink, that is for sure. That is good. That is very good. It's definitely, you know, when I think about when I was young, and I know you guys are going to give me a lot of flack for this. When I was young, with my family, with my mother and my sister, I went to Thailand as a tourist. I think we went for about 2 weeks and we stayed at a place. And one of my favorite things about it was that they had free breakfast. And at the free breakfast, they would rotate their juices. And one of the juices that they had was guava juice. And oh my lord, that is life-changing. I've talked about it before. But guava juice, it's on a whole nother level. This isn't guava juice, this is guava drink. But it's still good, it's still good. Castle of the Crow almost getting taken out here. You can see it firing off towards the enemy position. We've actually got double... I'm actually just realizing this for the first time. We've got 2 landmarks that we almost never see. And I don't even know why. Like, this landmark to me just makes no sense. The Elsbach Palace here makes literally 0 sense. A Swabia here, in my opinion, just would have been 1,000 times more better than this. Though, arguably, you could say that the Elsbach Palace saved the game for him. There is an argument to say that if he didn't make that Elsbach Palace, he would have been run over. Because that army was pretty close and it was pretty menacing, but he got the age up in, and as soon as he saw the Elsbach, he was like, nah, dude, I'm good. I'm good. We hear... Was that boiling oil? I don't know what that sound was. There was a sound, and it sounded like the trader was coming out. How long do we have on this? It had to have been that, right? Yeah, it was. It was the trader coming into here. Big numbers once again on the Japanese side. Anatan still holding on for dear life in this game. Score still even Stevens. Look at this, less than 11 points between them. It's rapidly moving now. We hear slowly these armies fighting it off. The hand cannoneers able to deal with the majority of the samurai. The numbers continue to climb for him. And I'm putting my legs up. We're 43 minutes into this game and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? The legs are going up, guys. It's time for me to get comfy because it looks like these 2 guys are not going anywhere. We've got ourselves a battle, an ultimate test of strength. More units down towards that south side. Have a look at this. They are everywhere on this map. But for the most part, this is where the magic is. This is where the money is here. Sacred Victories at 8 minutes. Needs to keep the keep alive. If the keep falls, it's going to be difficult for him to hold this any further. 44 minutes into the game, it looks almost certain it's going down. There's a lot of vills on here, but with him losing out position, this keep... fortunately, or does actually have the cannon emplacement, and that's going to slowly grind down these troops. Second bombard's out. That's it. There's no out-healing a second bombard. You can out-heal 2 trebs. You can out-heal 4 trebs. You can out-heal 20 trebs, to be honest. But you can't out-heal 2 bombards. Just doesn't work like that. And I think that was one of the best changes that the devs made to, like, the difference, or to differentiate bombards and trebs, is that, like, bombards are just a pure DPS mechanism, whereas trebs are, like, a little bit more... utility, I want to say. Like, they got more range. You can kind of use them from different angles, that sort of thing. Whereas, like, bombards are just like, all right, let's crack open this base. Boom, dead. Like, that's the kind of stuff I love to see. Okay. Louis MT now. Bringing in more and more troops. Now, another thing I wanted to flag with you lads is the prospect of another Outback Octagon. How would you guys feel about that? Because we've got a DLC coming later this year. At the moment, my money is on sometime around October, November, because I've noticed, like, the trend seems to be that's when they go. It's always, like, a little bit before Christmas. And I was thinking to myself, okay, well, I know for a fact that they delayed the last one, or, like, they delayed it previously. But then I'm like, do you think they're really going to avoid releasing in, like, the Christmas period? Like, that's when you get all of your sales. So that's what I think it's going to be. But I'm thinking Outback Octagon, and I want to try and time it so that it's, like, as soon as it comes through. And I tell you what, like, I'm just having thoughts right now when I was thinking about the bombards and, like, the difference between the Trebs and the bombards. And I was just thinking of that one game where Beastie's base was getting sniped out. If I remember correctly, it was Anatan that was doing the sniping as well. And, God, there was so many bombards there, dude. It was kind of wild. I was just thinking about that. Anyway, if you got any ideas, feel free to throw them out. Because I've got a notepad document. I'm working on it with my boy ChatGPT, and we're trying to come up with ideas because we want to make the 4th Outback Octagon the best one that's ever been. All right, we'll check in now on that south side and see how things are moving here. A little bit of a raid. Walls continuing to come up. Now, these walls are really important. It means that your siege will not die to any potential flanks, and we can see the numbers are starting to build here. Anatan. It's impressive to me that he was able to have so much of the map, and yet Louis MT just really felt like, despite how much oh no, he's boxing. Oh, he's doing the box. Oh no. Now keep in mind, this is a tournament game. That's why he's doing it. It's a tournament game. I don't know who wins this game. I don't know what the score is. I just saw a big lightning strike outside, so we might go down any minute right now, but he's doing the box. This is actually an illegal strategy. Now, when I say illegal, I don't actually mean illegal. I mean, like, in the context of, like, highly illegal. Like, this is unethical. It's immoral. We shouldn't be doing this. Put your siege in the box. Get in the box, he says. Look at the amount of units he's got here. All the horsemen, look at it, crowd around. Battering rams working their way down, make their way in. Say, open up, buddy. We got a whole bunch more where that came from. Horsemen slowly working their magic. On that front line, the samurai gonna be the steadfast, holding on tightly. And look at the Ashigaru. Look at a hand cannon Ashigaru. GG gets called. Have a look at that. The box was victorious, ladies and gentlemen. The most illegal strategy. It's not really illegal, but I like to call it illegal. Ladies and gentlemen, go check out EGC TV, 15 GMT, Saturday and Sunday. That's right tonight, so go say good day, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.